Yes.
Just kind of a general question. I'm from this other end of town here, where all the tear downs are and so forth. Any lessons you're taking going forward from this economic downturn? I mean, I live next door to a mammoth. I'm in an 1,100 square foot Georgian, next to 5,000 square foot of home. Quite a few of them are empty right now. Any lessons learned or anything that you'll apply going forward when you're looking at some of these zoning and so forth in areas like that where tear downs are common? I know we talked about the historic district and maintaining the historic district, but down there it's kind of a free-for-all.
Yeah. Let me answer it this way. I think as it's really beyond the board, I think the board is reflecting the community desired sentiment, and that is we want people to invest in their property, we want people to reinvest in their property, and to the extent that we can preserve the existing housing stock, we would like that even better. The board also is very mindful, because they work in the private sector, of market forces and allowing the market to work and allowing people to purchase a property, rehab it, and then sell it. And so it's really kind of a balancing act of that, and the way that's balanced is through the zoning code. And also on the other side of the equation, or another part of the equation, is through aggressive property maintenance. So in the case of kind of lessons learned, is that as citizens call us and make us aware of derelict properties or vacant properties, that they let us know so we can kind of watch out for it, and as violations occur, at least we deal with the broken window theory from property maintenance to make sure that at least the property is kept up, even though it might not be occupied, so that it doesn't have a negative effect on neighbors. What's the other thought I wanted to add to that? I think that's it. Oh, I guess the third thought here is that, you know, we do have some, but we don't have as many foreclosures or issues where the recession has dramatically impacted the composition of Grange. It may be, and I mean that very broadly. Obviously, it affects different people individually and the like, and that's not a comment on that. But it's more of the big picture of our property values are still high, people are still shopping, and the like. And people are still proud of their community and the like. So. Even though, you know, we hear about it in the news and we might see it on our block or a particular neighborhood, as a whole, it hasn't been that dramatic. In fact, maybe not even as noticeable. But we are aware that there's certain pockets, and what we're trying to do on our end to maintain that quality of life is through that aggressive property management. There are a couple of arraigned properties south of 47th, east of LaGrange Road, that were not well maintained, and we received an agreed order and settlement on fines. But more importantly, it's not money. It's really making sure that the property is maintained by in this case, the bank. So that's really kind of how we've approached it. But you know what? I hear what you're saying. If you have any ideas, we're open to that as well.
But I guess just from a building code standpoint too, any thoughts or plans for eliminating some of that, or downsize it a little bit? Or is it just the expectation of the market, because now these $1 billion, $500,000 homes or whatever, $900,000 homes aren't selling, just letting the market do its piece, or its move it?
You know, we just went through that 2-year process on that very issue of zoning codes, and it came out of the comprehensive plan that was adopted in 2005, and as the comprehensive plan was developed between 2003 and 2005, there were expressions made through focus groups and other survey mechanisms and neighborhood meetings and the like, which said, look, you know what, we're with respect to these homes, bulk yard and space issues came to light. And so we embarked on a process of looking at our code, zoning code, to shrink homes, shrink the space that's occupied between homes, the height of homes as it relates to a new home being built next to a home that might be a post-World War II, ranch, and the like. And we went through this process, and that took 2 years as well. And it wound up that the community was divided. And that's why when it came up to that issue of max building coverage, it was a 4-3 vote. And the safe choice was, let's keep what we have now, because you just the community, there's too much division within the community. I'm not sure where we're at right now on that issue, but it's just a tough thing, and I'm not sure if going through another process at this time. It's only been a couple of years. We're still trying to see what the impact the max lot coverage standard has, as well as the incentives that have been offered for max building coverage, where additional coverage from 35% can go up to, I believe, as high as maybe 55%, that there's a certain scooch that's given for a driveway and for a detached garage if a homeowner builds a detached garage. So again, that's where the board uses its zoning authority to go ahead and create a certain quality of life, and try to regulate those kind of marketplace conditions, but at the same time achieving that balance between letting people respecting property interests, for lack of a better way of putting it. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's tough, and the beauty is that in a community like LaGrange, those kind of things are really well vetted, and a tremendous amount of community input. In fact, I see a number of people in this room that have vigorously participated in those comments, and I think everybody feels good that at the end of the day, whatever the outcome is, the process was probably equally important because everybody had input on it.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Bob, for talking.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for coming again. Sorry, I couldn't help you out.
That's right. It was Stump the Village Manager.
Well, you did. You did. Good for you.